Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Today is a bit of a special day for me. It is December 14th, 2024, and today marks the 6-year anniversary of me launching the Moon Lambo channel, which of course is the best channel on all of the YouTubes, as everybody is well aware, and there is no controversy around that. We all agree, of course. And so I thought what I'd do in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam is kind of share, well, I do want to share a few thoughts at the outset of the video. I'd also like to talk a little bit about what it's been like for XRP holders and my mindset during the last few years and how I've approached it. And because really, when it comes to investing, I insist we are our own worst enemies when it comes to investing. And so there's that Warren Buffett quote, I pulled it up the other day. Everybody in crypto knows it, unless you're brand new, which is it's something like be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. And there's so much truth to that. If you can just stick to that basic principle and not let emotion seep in and have some damn conviction, you absolutely can achieve life-changing wealth. And that's all I've done here. I've now been in crypto over 7 years, and that is it. I am not a finance guru, like literally. I'm a dude. Like there is nothing special about me compared to any of you listening. I just happen to decide to talk in front of this microphone every day on YouTube because it's fun. It's like my most favoriteest hobby that I've ever had, and I appreciate the support. But there's nothing special about me just because I do this. Anybody can do this, and that's one of the things I find the most empowering about being in crypto, period. Anybody can do it. It's up to you to make it happen, and so many people squander the opportunity, but it's there. There's tremendous risk, but there's also, my God, there's tremendous opportunity to the upside. And later in the video, I'm also going to share with you a perspective from a chart analyst, one of the many analysts I follow that did call for this dramatic break to the upside for XRP. And he's saying that really on the XRP chart, there's really no room left on this chart. Like it's got to go. Like there's no room left. And I'll share with you again later in the video why he's saying that. But even if he's wrong about that, and we do have to consolidate a little bit further regardless, I think the vast majority of us agree we're just about there. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so to kick things off, I thought I'd share this, and I don't typically talk about myself, and that's intentional, it's by design. I don't want the channel to be about me. I'll talk about little things here and there about my life, but not much at all, because I want crypto to be the focus and topics specific to that. But on a day like this, I think it's okay for me to say a couple things about my personal journey and what led here, because I almost never do this. And so I thought I'd start by sharing what got me into crypto in the first place. And it was this article on your screen from The Guardian. Look at this headline. It's supposed to scare you away. It did not do that for me. Here's the headline from The Guardian. $300 million in cryptocurrency accidentally lost forever due to bug. So I remember clicking on that. I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. I was linked to this from another website. And this was published November 8th, 2017. I came across it November 10th, 2017. And I want to share with you just a little bit of this so you can see what part of what I read. And then I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that too, because it's supposed to scare people away, right? So check this out. This is over 7 years ago. More than $300 million of cryptocurrency has been lost after a series of bugs in a popular digital wallet service led to one curious developer to accidentally take control of and then lock up the funds, according to reports. Unlike most cryptocurrency hacks, however, the money wasn't deliberately taken. It was effectively destroyed by accident. The lost money was in the form of Ether, the tradable currency that fuels the Ethereum distributed app platform, and was kept in digital multi-signature wallets built by a developer called Parity. These wallets require more than one user to enter their key before funds can be transferred. And on Tuesday, Parity revealed that while fixing a bug, this is crazy, while fixing a bug that lets hackers steal 32 million, so what happened, fixing a bug that let hackers steal $32 million out of a few multi-signature wallets, it had inadvertently left a second flaw in its system that allowed one user to become the sole owner of every single multi-signature wallet. So I read that, and I can just imagine me 7 years ago sitting there smiling, oh, that sounds fun. Can you tell me some more about that? I want to learn. And so that afternoon, I read that article. And then by the time evening came around, I was reading more and more various articles, this and that. And I was just very like tantalized, if you will, by this entire space. And I just wanted to learn more. So I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy some stuff then. And I didn't buy a crazy amount. Obviously, if you're going to put in some serious money, you want to research a bit and have a better understanding of it. But for me, part of the getting familiar with the space was getting on an exchange and experiencing an actual purchase on an exchange. So I set up a Coinbase account and I bought a few coins. I bought ETH. And then I bought Litecoin, and then I bought Bitcoin in that order, just randomly. I guess maybe I bought ETH first because I read the article about it. But that was it. It was a negative sounding article. But I was like, maybe there's something to actually do this, because I read more and more. And so there you go. So that was the beginning of my journey. And then I started going down, the rank of coins based on market cap. I quickly came across XRP, of course, based on its rank. And I was like, holy hell. So wait a minute. You're telling me that there are business models that can exist that, because of XRP, that could not exist if XRP, the decentralized cryptocurrency, didn't exist? And I was like, oh. So as soon as I realized that, and I realized that inside of like a matter of days, I was like, well, if that's true, that means this asset class is never going away. If there's value, actual value there, meaning, again, businesses that otherwise could not exist, and that increase efficiency, reduce costs, of course it's not. The things that make that possible, those will just go up in price. So I was like, oh, to me, that was the light bulb moment. And for most people, a lot of people, especially the early Bitcoiners, is more so this idea of, having an asset, like a cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that doesn't have any counterparty risk, nobody can control it. And for a lot of people, just the value that the technology offers there, that was enough. For me, that isn't the flip the switch moment for me. I was never in the mind that didn't make sense. And in fact, the more time passed, the more I was like, yeah, absolutely, that's valuable. But the thing that really sold me on it was that epiphany when I was just like, yeah, this ain't ever going away. And the reason I realized that is specifically because of XRP. And then I researched more and more and more and more. And then by the end of 2017, I actually decided I was going to launch my YouTube channel. I even bought a microphone, a Blue Yeti microphone, and I set it up, and I remember like recording a few things just as a test, nothing that I was actually going to publish. And then I started thinking, what are you doing, Matt? Like, you found out about crypto a month ago. Like, what are you doing? And so like the level of genuine interest was there back then, and it has persisted 7 years later. So I was like, because I know me, I was like, if I'm feeling this genuine interest, probably not going away. And I did believe that was most likely. And here we are 7 years later. Very true. I was right. Interest didn't go away. But I also thought I should probably learn a little bit more, if I'm going to be running a YouTube channel, it'd be nice, right? And, in hindsight, I look back on that, and, if I wasn't going to launch it in late 2017, I certainly knew enough about XRP to reasonably have a discussion by the early part of 2018. I certainly did. I even started a blog in early 2018, which is now 7 years defunct. Almost 7 years defunct at this point. But I could have started the channel, and I regret not in hindsight. Because, and I did this, I'm not going to read this. I shared this post earlier this morning. If you want to pause and read, go ahead. But I ultimately didn't, because I just thought I was just this mindset. No, I should just know more, and then, whatever. But looking back, I'm like, no. Anybody that is in the community that just wants to have a fun conversation and share some thoughts, you don't need to be a damn expert to be on YouTube saying stuff. If you're engaging and you're reporting on stuff that's interesting, there's an opportunity that other people are going to gravitate towards that. The same as if you're typing stuff on social media. If you're saying things that are interesting and engaging thoughtfully with people, well, then maybe people are not going to completely hate you, and maybe they'll have honest, fun, interesting discourse, right? And so I should have recognized that's also what YouTube was like. And so I certainly never considered myself an expert back then, and I still don't today. I'm just a dude on the internet. I've been very forthright about the fact that that's the case here. But I have learned a ton along the way. And as I noted in this post here, I've also in return learned a ton from the community. And that's how it should be. I like to share what I know and then learn in return. Like, I think that's how it should be. And so I do regret, not a huge deal in the end, fine, but I do regret a bit not starting the thing sooner. But by the time December rolled around, it was December 14th, 2018, and I own my own company, so I can do whatever the hell I want, which is nice. But it was Friday, I believe. Pretty sure it was Friday. And I remember going into work, and then I was just sitting there thinking, it's like, man, you've been thinking for like a year at this point about launching this YouTube channel. And finally the itch hit me so hard, and I was so like unhappy with myself for not having taken that move that I just I left work. I left the office. I went home, and then I didn't have my microphone there at the time, actually, at home. And so I just sat down in front of my laptop on the coffee table, and I was like, I don't care what it is, just get something. You have to, because you have to break the ice. Like you have to do the thing to get into it, to start it, just whatever it is, just do it, make an intro video. That's fine. That's what I told myself. And so I did it. I finally did. I'm so thankful that I did. And then you always hope that maybe the channel will get bigger, but you don't know if it's going to. And so I just want to say, I am so genuinely humbled and thankful for all of the support that I've received from all of you for so many years at this point. I know that I am not owed anything. I do not have an ego, but I am appreciative that I have this support. I really am. And it's running this channel, I got to tell you, it's just this in crypto, everything collectively, put it in one basket. It's like the best thing I've ever decided to do in my entire life. I could not more emphatically mean that. It's been absolutely amazing. Now over 161,000 subscribers. That's just surreal to me. It's hard to like visualize that. It's just, it's just insane. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, very sincerely, thank you so much for making this a reality for me. Like sometimes I don't even know what are the proper words to like say to convey the degree to which I'm appreciative of this. It's just been a hell of a journey. And I never starting the XRP centric YouTube channel, I never could have imagined the journey I'd ultimately go through with the rest of you, especially because of the SEC nonsense over the last several years. Just freaking insane. It's just insane stuff here. It's wild. And starting the YouTube channel, I mean, it feels a little weird at first. If any of you have ever done a YouTube channel, I'm sure some of you are, even if it's not crypto related. Like, if you've never done it, when you do first sit behind that microphone and you hit record, it feels a little weird. It can, you're in a room by yourself, or at least I certainly was anyway. So it feels a little weird, mildly intimidating, but in life, I think it's for anything that's worthwhile, is at least get to whatever you're a little outside your comfort zone. And I am like more on the outgoing side in life. I'm not like an extreme extrovert, but I'm more on the extrovert side for sure. And I have a sales background, that whole thing. But still, it's just because it was something new and different. It felt a little like, but that's what you do in life, if something's worthwhile, then maybe it feels like that just in the moment. But then, yeah, after like a few videos, it started to feel normal. Now I'm sitting here in a room talking to myself. Well, I mean, my pet peeve, my 9-year-old terrier mix, she's under my desk right now. So I guess I'm not talking to zero living creatures, but I'm not talking to a human here. I'm otherwise by myself here. But yeah, no, totally. It quickly became normal. But you just gotta kind of just get into it sometimes and throw yourself in there. And so anybody can do this if you have the drive, whether it's for crypto, XRP specifically, or any other topic. If you feel the drive, like just take the plunge and do it. Just start a damn YouTube channel, and you might not regret it. I mean, I sure don't. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'm so glad that I started this thing. So here we are all these years later with all the SEC nonsense, all the opportunity for life-changing wealth, which I've absolutely taken advantage of, which I want to talk about in this video too. It's just the wildest ride of my damn life. It really is. I am so thankful that all of this happened, and if I hadn't come across that article, I don't know if or when I would have jumped into crypto at all. I'm just thankful I came across that. It was listed on, I remember where I found it. It was on drudgereport.com. That's where I came across it. And I clicked from there, and I was like, oh, what's this damn thing? And, of course, Bitcoin, it's been declared dead a few times. Can we talk about this? I want to talk about what it's been like, especially over the last few years in particular, because there are a ton of you that have been around at least the last few years. Some of you listening may be brand new, in which case, welcome to the party, of course. The more the merrier. And some of you have been around even longer than me. That's fine. That's great. But even if you've just been around a few years, I got to say, like, you've been through like the craziest part of the entire history of XRP. Like, you just lived through it. And so, with the entire asset class being as nascent as it is at this point, even after being almost 16 years old now, it's just, I think like the stuff that we just lived through, it's going to sound like crazy another decade from now that this was the environment that we actually used to have to endure. But this is also where the opportunity is. And so even from the beginning of Bitcoin, like how many times has it been declared dead? Well, here's the 99 Bitcoins website. And they have cited 477 times it's been declared dead, meaning 477 articles literally or effectively declaring it dead. Bitcoin dead. Most recent one, April 2024. I guess there's been either they stopped updating it after that, or there just haven't been as many articles this year, given that, well, price hasn't been too shabby, right? But you can scroll all the way down, look at all of these damn articles, and they tracked it all the way back, literally, to 2010. At the bottom here, look at this. And it's just like, so if you're in crypto now, my point in bringing this up is like you're going against the grain. And it sure as hell is true for XRP. So Bitcoin's more broadly accepted at this point by more people to like become a winner. Okay, fine. Here's the first one. Look at this. Bitcoin's dead. Why Bitcoin can't be a currency? December 15th of 2010. And by the way, that's the verdict on that is still out. So on layer 1, the answer is no. That's very clear. But will it count? And this is subjective, but will it count if you have a layer 2 technology that's facilitating those transactions, making it possible? Like with Spin the Bits, which is created on the XRP ledger, which moves Bitcoin. Well, I mean, arguably that could still count, in which case Bitcoin then could still be used as money. Now, of course, then the question is, well, why not just use XRP? Well, it's a fun discussion for another video, but actually we'll just leave it there because otherwise I'll just go off on a tangent. Here's the Bitcoin is dead website. This is hilarious. So they actually charted it, and they show the price of Bitcoin at various times when articles were written, and they charted 415 different articles. But look at this. It shows the price of Bitcoin, the headline of the articles, who's written by, and just all this stuff. And all of them have been wrong. Crypto's dead, Bitcoin's dead, except for it's not here. And the reason I'm showing you this, and I'm showing you this in a particular order, as well, partly because I'm reminiscing because of, you know, how I jumped into crypto and what led me down this incredible YouTube path and all that stuff here. But it's relevant to XRP holders and like how you're approaching crypto, because again, we are our own worst enemies when it comes to investing. Unquestionably, that's the case here. So the most recent bear market at the bottom, the FTX collapse, the FTX Ponzi collapse, that exchange, that's what marked the bottom. November of 2022. And so there was this article, and this guy, Chetan Bhagat, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, 12.1 million followers on X. That's a ton of followers. And he wrote this article, you know, this would have been, what, I think 6 days after the FTX collapse, titled, "Crypto is Now Dead." That's what he wrote. Crypto is now dead. It was seen a few times. It was definitely seen a few times, and this is the article. I'm not going to read the whole thing right here, but this little part certainly was attention grabbing. The undeserved confidence of this guy, clearly having not done research, understanding that there are business models and utility that can't exist if there aren't decentralized cryptocurrencies, native coins attached to blockchains. He didn't even get to that point, and he wrote up this article with this sense of undeserved confidence, effectively. And so look at this. He wrote in part, "Crypto is never coming back. It's done. Please do not waste your money on it. It is not an investment. Stay away from it. If you already lost money, sorry. Hope the lesson was learnt. Lessons that apply to all who want to invest money. Investing is boring. Real returns take a lot of time." He could not have been more wrong. This has aged like a fine milk, which I highlighted right here just a couple hours ago. I went back to this article. And you know, I actually shared it at the time. I shared it a couple days later, November 16th. I shared this article and I wrote, "Hey guys, bad news. Crypto died again, so I guess it's all over. Darn." So hopefully everybody could understand the degree to which I was being sarcastic right there, obviously. Because I went on a buying spree. And so that's why I'm highlighting this stuff. And by the way, we're going to be in a bear market again. XRP is going to balloon in price, I believe. And then it will plunge drastically, same for Bitcoin and the entire crypto asset class. But that's going to represent opportunity, right? Things are cyclical here. And it'll be declared dead again. It's always going to be declared dead. But then it'll always keep trending back to the upside because there are reasons that it deserves to exist. It's just this guy hasn't figured it out, even though he's writing this stuff on the internet. And so, you know what I did? Well, here's November 8th. This is the collapse. This is when it happened, 1:33 p.m. Here's what I posted. I wrote, "Crypto markets absolutely plummeting on the FTX insolvency news as markets fear it's a Luna-style contagion." And I'll just pause to note there was let's just say 2022 was a rough year. So things started to collapse earlier with Luna, and then there was the Three Arrows Capital thing. It just infected the entire space. There was a whole bunch of ridiculous leverage, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. And then we get to like the pinnacle of the collapse of the world of crypto, you know, for the bear market anyway. And that's what this was with FTX finding out that this gigantic exchange was a Ponzi scheme, right? And so I then wrote XRP at 37 cents, Bitcoin at $17,644. And again, this is November 8th, the day this is happening. I wrote, I don't know where we find a bottom, but I'll be buying on the way down as people are panic selling, not financial advice. And I absolutely did. 3 minutes later, at 1:36 p.m., I wrote, damn it, Coinbase is down. Of course they are. Why was I expecting anything else? And that's how you know you're either in a bull run or in the beginning phases of some sort of panic pullback, because Coinbase will be down. That's how you know, basically. And then I tried again a little bit later, though, 1:48 p.m., November 8th, and I wrote, okay, Coinbase is back up. Just bought Filecoin at $4.55. Yesterday, I bought it at $5.73, so feeling great about this. Just bought HBAR on Binance US at 5 cents. I know I said I was seriously done buying it, but caveat was I'll buy if we get a big dip. This is a big enough dip. And so, folks, when there's a catastrophe and markets plummet, to me, that is the signal to buy. That is the absolute. If there's a capitulation event, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. And HBAR, even back then, it was one of my largest positions. And now it's my second to largest position. More on that in a second, though. But so at that point I was down. I was down on my investment by a lot. Before so there was a point where I had a bag I was pretty happy with. My average buying price, I don't know if it was like 10, 11, 12 cents. And then it plummeted dramatically. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm enticed to sell. It's the same way I treated XRP. I bought XRP for years and I was down on it for years. That's just how this stuff works. Like, you got to understand that or else you're not going to make it in crypto. So then HBAR went down. I was like, oh, okay, let's do the same thing here. And so I bought more and more and more as it went down. And I think my average price for HBAR, I think it's around 7 cents at this point. So I was able to get it down pretty significantly. I was able to buy in the 4 cent range ultimately. But here I bought it 5 cents. And now it's a gigantic position for me. And then I also posted here, same day, just bought Algorand at 34 cents. Missed the 29-cent low, but that's okay. I know a market already moving back up, but maybe I'll get lucky and we'll dip lower. And we did. We actually did dip lower. On November 9th, the very next day, here's what I wrote. My net worth has taken a massive hit due to crypto prices plummeting. As a result, I am no longer Moon Lambo. I am Moon Family Sedan. Wish me luck. And actually, if I can find I got it around here somewhere. There we go. Some of you will remember this here. Just as I got a sense of humor here. So I renamed myself from Moon Lambo to Moon Family Sedan. And here you can see I took my logo and I took that bad boy, plopped it into Microsoft Paint and crossed out the word Lambo with an X and then typed in Family Sedan. And then I plopped this, whatever the hell this red crap car is from like 79 million years ago on top of the Lambo. Because here's what my page actually looks like now. You can see this is my actual header here with this sweet Lambo here. And so I temporarily renamed myself and then went back after XRP got legal clarity anyway. But anyway, so I then wrote, and again, this is the day after, while everybody's panic selling, I'm having a fun time. My net worth down dramatically, by the way. And so, like, we were all victims of this, but I recognized the opportunity. I didn't have an FTX account, but we all were dramatically negatively impacted. And so I bought, right? And so I wrote here, everyone in crypto has been harmed by the FTX situation, but it has also created opportunity, and I'm taking massive advantage of it. Just bought a bunch of Filecoin for $4.17, HBAR at 4.4 cents, and Algorand at 27 cents. So folks, you can see on the purchases I made the day before on November 8th, I'm down on those, and here I am the next day buying more and not phased by it, because that is the mentality that you must have. You must understand that these moves are not based on the fundamentals. Nothing changed. It's just cheaper because people are scared that something's changed, even though it actually hasn't. It's panic. It's emotion. It's not based on logic and data and reason. You got to separate these things out. And so as far as how well all of this is done to this point here, mixed bag. So HBAR, it's around 30 cents. Very recently, it was as high as 38 cents. And again, my average buying was 7 cents, and I bought it as low as, at least on that post, 4.4 cents. That's close to the lowest I ever bought it, if it wasn't the very lowest. So, that's, from that range, that's more than a 6-fold increase compared to where we are right now, because HBAR happened to take off. So some of my coins that I hold 42 different cryptocurrencies. Some of them already started taking off. Obviously, Bitcoin's one of them, way up. you got XRP, you've got you've got HBAR here, and there are some others too, but not everything that I own right now is up dramatically, and that's normal also. So like I said, on those days, I bought Filecoin, for example, and it went even lower, like Filecoin. So I bought it in the fours. It went down to like $2 and something cents at some point after that. And I don't remember exactly how far down I kept buying. I shared a lot of my buys on social media, but not all of them. That'd probably just be too much information to share. Not from like a privacy perspective, but it'd just be like, if I just said every single buy I'm doing, it's just like maybe it'd get irritating or something. Anyway, so Filecoin's at $6.67. It's, not a crazily large position for me, but it's one of my larger ones. I think that's fair to say for me. And so you can see but look at the opportunity here. So not everything launches at the same time. So yes, XRP started launching already, HBAR, and there's some other coins you can name, obviously. Filecoin's not one of them yet, but the whole market moves in tandem. Look at the all-time high of $2.37. So I don't know if we're going to hit that, just to be clear. I don't know. But that's why I brought exposure to the asset class. So what if we do? What if we get way higher and I'm enticed to sell? I mean, I could make a killing even selling below the all-time high of $237. But the point is, let's see how I fare by the time this market cycle's over and we can do a post-mortem, because I'm willing to bet that I'm going to do just fine, even if this doesn't hit a new all-time high. And I don't know, I don't make price predictions, but again, that's why I just have broad exposure to the asset class. So I bought lower in that, and now I'm up. I'm up on Filecoin a little bit. But I've been down on Filecoin for most of the time I've held it for the last few years. But that's normal. The first few years you hold something, especially if you're accumulating during a bear market, you're not going to have a new plateau until the next market cycle. So that's normal. That's why I was down on XRP for the first few years I held it. And then after that, I wasn't. Now I'm way up. I'm way up on XRP. Now it accounts for probably about half my damn portfolio. The biggest it's ever been, because it started ridiculously performing. And I only think that's going to get better. And so similarly for Algorand, yeah, I'm up on it. It's at 42 cents. But it got even, I think it got down to like maybe even 11 cents. So it went even lower after I bought it. I didn't care. I wasn't panicking about any of that. I've just been waiting for the bull run. And so it's up a little bit, but wait until the rest of alt season plays out. That's kind of my message. Like, if stuff you're holding hasn't gone yet, I'm telling you, well, a lot of my stuff hasn't either, and it's normal. I'm just thankful that XRP has started, so fewer people are doubting it now, which makes sense. And you love to see it. And so then there was this post. This is also from November 9th. I wrote, Bitcoin dropped to about $16,500. Emotions are powerful. We've seen this behavior before so many times. Fundamentals of crypto, including utility, did not suddenly change as a result of this price drop. I view this as an opportunity. Folks, that is what it takes to be successful in crypto. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just sharing what I know works. And it's the same concept in the stock market, because it's the same humans with the same DNA that you're fighting against. If they're panic selling, but the fundamentals haven't shifted to the negative, nothing changed, why be afraid? Even if it means your net worth is down substantially, and then putting in new money means you're still in the red pile, okay, well, I recognize that, but am I glad I bought this stuff 2 years? Hell yeah. And I bought a bunch of other stuff too. These are just a few examples. And it's not that everything that I bought has already rocketed. It hasn't. Maybe there are still some coins that I hold that are even in the red on the whole. That's probably true. With 42 coins, there probably are some. But so what? It doesn't mean they won't go in the green, and even if they don't, who cares? I have broad exposure to the asset class. That's the more important point here. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what I've been doing for the last 7 years. And this finally, I believe, will be the market cycle where I actually cash out. Finally take profit. I've just been waiting for it to get to the point where my overall portfolio is such that when we have this blow off top, it's so life-changing for me that I just pull it all out and I sell and just take the profits. And then when we do, just to be clear, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep running this channel. I have way too much fun running this channel. And then we get to do it all over again. If you want to hang out with me when we're back in the bear market, I'll talk about what I'm doing and the stuff that I'm buying just because it's fun to talk about. And just do it all over again. So even if I sell all of my XRP this cycle, I'll be happy to buy in next at the bottom of the bear market, or as we're approaching the bottom. You can't know for sure where the bottom is. Even if it means I'll be buying at a price way higher than I've ever bought XRP before. So what? I don't care. I'll be, and then maybe I'll be down on that for a few years. Okay. That's how it goes, folks. It's not a problem. And so that post I just shared with you was reposted by Credible Crypto, and he said, 100% man, a bit surprised at how many right now are tweeting things that only serve to make people panic more. Everything that is happening right now is unexpected and seriously sucks, but it's not the end of the world or crypto. Just a speed bump that we will drive past. Keep calm. And so I responded to him and wrote, my net worth has taken a massive, massive hit due to this, yet I'm excited for this buying opportunity, totally on the same page as you. And folks, that is true. That's the most, like the biggest hit I've taken to my net worth in my entire life. Like probably that day, but certainly that time period. It was a massive hit, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Because I didn't need to pull out those assets anyways. Like, what the hell did I care? It didn't matter. None of that mattered. And so while I was doing this and I'm excited for the opportunity, you have that guy, whatever the guy's name was, where's this damn thing again? Chahet Bagat, totally not getting it, basking in the glory. Haha, told you so. And here's what he wrote. I didn't read this yet. Look at what he wrote on November 14th on X, then known as Twitter. Hi, all. Crypto is now dead. FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange, collapsed last week, proving a lot of cool guys horribly wrong. Us cool guys, we were wrong, and now we're ashamed. No, we were not ashamed. And this guy knew nothing about market dynamics. He understood nothing of the fundamentals and utility of crypto. He doesn't understand why the attributes that are available because of cryptocurrencies attached to blockchains are valuable. He doesn't understand why humans value that even. But there are tons of humans that genuinely value it, so of course it's not going away. It couldn't be more freaking obvious. And so I was just scoffing at that. I was just like, okay, bro, I know this won't go well for you. And here we are over 2 years later. I'm just like, well, that aged like a fine milk, just like I expected. Not a shocker here. Here's what attorney John Deaton had to say on November 19th, 2022, in the midst of all this. He wrote, anyone who doesn't think Ripple and XRP are going to be around 10 years from now hasn't been paying attention. The fact that XRP has remained a top 10 digital asset for nearly a decade, despite hatred by many leaders in the space and the regulatory attack, really says it all. That could not be more accurate. So we're in the midst of the collapse, still in the lawsuit, and at that point, XRP was still my largest individual holding, and I didn't buy any more XRP because I already went completely bananas with it. I stopped buying late 2020. I really just, like, if I didn't stop at that point, like, I had a serious problem. So I did stop, and then I did nothing but diversify for the next several years, bringing me up to this point here. But he was right, and this is what I've been screaming for years. Of course it makes sense, because look, the people that say market cap doesn't matter don't know what they're talking about. Of course it matters, because that's how humans can determine how the rest of speculators in the space are valuing an asset relative to another asset in the space. Of course that's useful. Market cap, of course, matters. And that's the reason it matters. And so the fact that XRP was always up there, that should have told you everything you needed to know. Like he said, yes, absolutely. And then you can do more research, as I have, and pretty much all of you have, unless you're brand new. Yeah, and then you figure out how it's actually functionally useful. Hell yeah. 100%. So it's just a crazy ride here. And so like we are at that moment. And I know that most of you have been around here for at least a little bit. I know some of you listening brand new, fine. Of course, I acknowledge that, and we're glad to have you here. Most of you went through a lot of the same stuff that I went through, and we did it as a community, and we made it through a better on the other side because of this. XRP has legal clarity going into the biggest bull run in history. I mean, that's what I think it's going to be proven to be, like, in terms of the opportunity here. Yeah. It's going to dwarf everything else that happened. And so fully intend to take profits here. Now, here was a post, and I want people to be aware of this too, because there are some people that will insist it doesn't make sense to sell XRP. They insist that it's never going to have a bear market. It's going to continue to go the upside. That is ridiculous. And I want to highlight a bit of that too. So chart analyst Bobby A., he's on the right side of this. He gets it. So let me share this first. He said, in the coming months, as XRP and most cryptocurrency market begins to print massive green candles, know that the music will eventually stop. You will hear many new and inexperienced market participants throw out some wild numbers and continuously set higher and higher targets. Do not get caught up in any of that noise. Remember how hard you worked during the bear market. Stick to your plan and your targets. Once you make life-changing money, which I am sure many of you will, sell. And folks, that's true for me. Like, the amount my crypto is worth compared to what I put in, it's not even close. All I had to do was buy stuff and then do nothing. That was it. That's the strategy. And as a result of that, I have no course to sell you. Unfortunately, I wish I could just charge you all like $100 or $1,000 for a course and pretend like I'm an internet guru like a lot of these jackasses do on YouTube. But I don't. I'm not. I'm just a regular dude, and I don't have a course to sell you. But what I do actually works. So you do whatever I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that this strategy works in the stock market. You buy and then you do nothing. You just hold for however long it takes. And that's that. Same in crypto. I just applied what I was already doing in the stock market to crypto. And wouldn't you know it, it works. That's it. That really is it. And now, of course, even though it sounds easy on paper, it's not easy for most people. Most people, like, again, they are their own worst enemies. The emotions seep in. You're questioning yourself. You're doubting yourself. Then you're tinkering with your portfolio, getting in and out of positions. What you bought, you think you did the wrong thing. It's not going. Other stuff is going. So then you buy something that's pumped only for the thing you just sold to then pump. Stuff like that happens. Happens to people all the time, which is why I just don't play that game. I just buy something, and if I'm wrong about it, my attitude from 2017 to now is if I buy it and it's never sufficiently enticing me to sell and it goes to zero, okay. And I'm genuinely okay with that. There's no secret trick to it. That's it. My attitude is, okay, guess I'm just not going to win on that then. Okay. Too bad, so sad. Not a big deal. It's not the end of the world, man. The crypto pie gets bigger on the whole, so what's it matter? But there's so much opportunity. And so then he said, don't ever feel bad for taking profits. Remember that no one catches exact bottoms or tops. We analyze, strategize, exercise patience and conviction, and let this market come to us. Then we execute with precision and an emotionless state of mind while blocking out all of the bullish noise the same way we blocked out the bearish noise in the past. And I'm glad he said that. And I've been talking about this recently because this is the time to talk about it. In a bull market, if you're a normal human, at some point you're going to be questioning if you're selling too soon. And they're going to think, oh, but everybody's saying that so-and-so target's probably going to be hit. That's the greed seeping in. That's going to happen to pretty much every human. That means you're a normal human. Do you want to be normal and get wrecked like the normal people do? Because most people don't make money in crypto. Or do you want to have some conviction, stand by what you think makes sense, and take some damn profit? Because that does mean when you sell, whatever you sell, there's a good chance that it's going to go way higher than when you sold it. But so what? But then you have the profit. You're playing with fire. If you don't take some damn profit, you're playing with fire here, folks. But of course, not everybody gets this. Here's somebody named Tesla1 responding to that post, writing, why would XRP top with the rest of the market when there are actual catalysts taking place? Agreed, the music stops every cycle, but Ripple has never had XRP positioned like this before. Won't these upcoming catalysts and adoption continue to push XRP up regardless of cycle? The answer is no to that in short. I'm just sharing examples here. Let me give you another one. This is from Expat. He wrote to Bobby A on a different post, and he said, amateur numbers, because he was saying where he thinks XRP might go and kind of his general thoughts in terms of when he might pull some money out. So Expat says, amateur numbers. No concept of what it actually is. The last 10% will be worth 100 times the 90%. You sell because you are short-sighted and ignorant. Keep 100% and put it into DeFi. Is/not financial advice, just pure logic. And so I read that, and having been here for 7 years, I'm guessing that he's new. And so I just responded and wrote, Dunning-Kruger effect right here. That's what this is, the Dunning-Kruger effect. This undeserved confidence. Because you know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to know that you don't know enough. That's the phase that this individual is in right now. And people have said this every single cycle, and it's never true. And if you look at the way in which money's flowing into space, it is provably the case that humans haven't changed the way that they're treating this. Everything's cyclical. It's based on liquidity on a global scale. A certain amount of that goes into risk assets when there's a risk on appetite. And as market breadth increases and you see investments going into the Russell 2000, that's when you see alt season start, which is where we are right now. But money starts first with Bitcoin, then into large caps, mid caps, small caps, rinse and repeat. And there's no indication whatsoever that anything is different than that right now. They're behaving exactly the same as every single cycle, and this individual apparently just doesn't know that. And okay, if he's new, that's fine, but the degree to which this individual had confidence was kind of striking to me. You sure you're right? Because everyone that's ever said that in history has been wrong. But it's right. It's true now. So the whole market's going to tank, but then there's going to be this one coin where people are going to keep throwing money in, even as markets are collapsing, even as the risk on appetite globally turns into a risk off appetite. This is going to be the one for the first time in crypto history that just keeps going up against everything else. And then it takes the number one spot, even when Bitcoin's crashing. This is the time, even though we don't see any indications that's changing. Come on. Here's another example. This was shared by Charting Guy, and there's no name attached to this one. But somebody wrote, this bull run will be different one. This bull run will be different one factor. Yeah, they don't use punctuation here, so the Kate. Okay. This bull run will be different. One factor that's different from the other bull runs is institutional investors. They buy and hold for long term, so I see this utility token run going on for years now. No, so actually, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about a coin, like say it's Bitcoin, and say it's like in a pension fund or some sort, an institutional level, like say it's part of a basket of other products. Just for an example, right? Well, as price runs up, it becomes a certain percentage that's higher than what was expected for the overall like an overall portfolio. And what institutions actually do when it becomes too large a percentage is they have to shuffle that down. Like say the tolerance level, let's say it's 2, 3, 4, 5%. Well, if it then becomes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%, they've got to adjust that because it's getting too big based on the parameters that they set for risk tolerances, and then they sell. That's what actually happens. So to think that this is just going to go up forever because institutions don't oversell, no, they do. They absolutely do. Are you ridiculous? It's just people that don't know what they're talking about. And so, it's kind of cute in a way. But that's why I'm trying to highlight this to share what I know to be the case. Like this, XRP absolutely is going to collapse with Bitcoin and the rest of the market when we enter a bear market, along with stocks and everything else. That's fine. It's cyclical. Then we have the opportunity and we get to do it all over again, and then we get to make more life-changing wealth. You get to do it every 4 years. It's pretty awesome sauce. Like, what is the problem here? Just accept it. And so Charting Guy had the following to say about this. I've seen many comments like these. Stop falling for the super cycle narrative, real world adoption BS. Please. People say the same thing every single cycle, and we always have a bear market. And folks, that is spot on. That is always the case. If you make life-changing gains in the coming months and don't take profit, you are stupid AF, in my opinion. Apple, Meta, Google, etc. all got adopted hard AF for decades, but guess what? They still went through nasty bear markets. Utility and adoption cannot escape the cyclical nature of these coins. Do not fall for that BS. Exactly. That is 100% spot on. Now, of course, we're not at that point. We're at the point where we should reasonably expect, if history is to rhyme with itself, number go up. XRP way higher from here. I don't know where it's going to go. I'll not be surprised if XRP gets into the double digits here. That will not shock me in the least. And we've been talking about in the short term where things are going to go because it's fun to ponder this and get perspective from reputable analysts out there. And here's one example. And I shared this the other day. This is from chart analyst Ali Martinez. XRP appears to be forming a bull flag. Still, the TD sequential recently presented a sell signal on the 4-hour chart, which leads me to believe XRP may see a brief correction before a breakout above $2.46 that could send the price to $4. Okay, so that's just one example. I highlighted in recent days tons of examples of chart analysts saying, this looks like a bull flag. It's going to pop. Now, as far as when that happens, varying degrees of confidence that it's going to be like in the coming days versus, a couple weeks or whatever. But lots of analysts charting very similar things on this here. So ultimately like XRP has been so artificially suppressed, and we're clearly in the beginning parts of an actual alt season. To think that the run for XRP is over is just, I think that's silly. And based on historic precedent, it doesn't make sense. It is no longer being suppressed by any sort of government agency, certainly not in the United States. Everything's great. XRP has never been so well positioned for a bull run. Now, this particular chart analyst, Dark Defender, he says it's going to happen sooner than later. So I don't know if he's right. I'm not pretending to, but I like to share opinions from all sorts of different chart analysts. And to his credit, he is one of the analysts that this whole year has been screaming, no, we're in a 7-year symmetrical triangle. We're going to break out to the upside. And he was right. He's one of the many analysts I follow that got that right. So as far as this, I don't pretend to know if he's right in the short term. But even if it takes like a couple of weeks or a few weeks or a month, whatever, to see it, the market continue to move dramatically to the upside, okay, it's not going to take long, regardless. And so here's what he said. We gave XRP 24 hours on December 11th, almost 40 hours since then. Well, XRP will decide where to go max by tomorrow. There is no room left on the current bull flag. And then he cites resistance levels. $2.42, $2.52, $2.72, and $5.85. And then supports at $2.29, $2.24, $2.10, and $2.02. So, even if it breaks to the downside, he's saying, in his opinion anyway, something's going to happen. It doesn't mean we break above 3. It doesn't mean we fall below 2. But he thinks something at a minimum is going to happen. And, just give it enough time, certainly something will. Like, we are in the throes of an actual bull run. This is what we've been waiting for. I personally have been waiting over 7 years. And I tell you this with a straight face, and I very much mean this. I feel just as patient as the day that I jumped into crypto and the day that I first bought XRP. Because that is what it takes to be successful when it comes to investing. You have to have a necessary time horizon. And for me, the answer is whatever it takes. Whatever that means. As long as I see that fundamentals aren't getting destroyed and stuff no longer makes sense, well, then why would I sell? I don't get to choose the timeline, but here we are. And now it is taking off. And this is an exciting time. And so it's just a crazy journey. And so many of you have been on the same journey with me. And thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And for checking out my channel and all that. It does feel a bit surreal. And I look back and I'm like, wow, it's really been 7 years. And it's really been 6 years since I launched this channel. And I'm so thankful. Like, it really is the case that there are over 161,000 subscribers, and it blows my simple little mind. I'm just so appreciative and thankful. And my net worth is up so much, way higher than it ever would have been had I not jumped into crypto, with XRP being a huge chunk of that. I couldn't be more fortunate and thankful. And it's just crazy to think, and I don't think this is just wishful thinking. I think it gets way better, even this cycle. And then, of course, we get to do it all again in the next cycle during the bear market accumulate. But even just here, like even the rest of this year in 2025, I just imagine like even like another, like on my portfolio, like a threefold increase, and it was like, it gets so buck wild. But it does take having this conviction as I have. I just, I live a modest life, and I'm doing, mind you, like I've been fine, like. Even outside of, had I never jumped into crypto, like I'm still fine, certainly fine. I don't want to say more than that. But this is on a different level here, and I'm just like the rest of you guys. Like I'm just trying to better my financial situation, just like all of you. That's all I'm trying to do here, and it's real. It's very real. I've had a front row seat to all of this now for over 7 years, and so many of you for however long you've been in the space. Some of you longer than me, some not as long as me. But whatever your journey has been, like, you get it too. And it's just so nice to have a real community, the XRP community, to hang out with and talk about all this stuff. Because if you didn't exist and it was just me in a vacuum, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. It's way more fun hanging out with all of you. It's just the coolest thing in the damn world. So, thanks again. Just thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. And I guess I'll wrap up here. This went on longer than what I thought it would be. But, honestly, when I start recording these videos, I mean, yeah, I've been doing it long enough that I have a feel for what it might be to cover X number of topics that I want to cover in a video, but I never know for sure. Sometimes videos are a little shorter than I think they might be, and sometimes they're longer, sometimes a lot longer than what I think they'll be when I hit record. I never know, but my attitude always is they'll be as long as they need to be. That's it. I just want to keep it raw. I do everything in one take. I hit record, and then whatever it is, even if I say something stupid, I'm like, oh, well, that's me. I want to talk just like if you and I say we're best chums and we're hanging out, we're sitting, it's a sunny day out, we're sitting on a patio drinking a brewski, right? We're having a beer, maybe a mixed cocktail, right? Having an adult beverage, hanging, talking about XRP and stuff. The way that I would just talk to a friend, that's how I want to talk on this channel, and that's what I've been doing since I launched the damn thing. There's nothing special about it. There's no high production here. But I think that engaging, like just having a discussion with regular people without a bunch of fanfare and like special displays and this or that, that's sufficiently interesting to me. Like I've never felt the need to have an intro screen or to do crazy studio setups or this or that. It's just you hit record and you talk about stuff that the community finds interesting, and it can be hit or miss. I do my stuff to cover stuff that people find interesting, but that's pretty much what it is. And so I've always wanted to be just, here it is. If I say something dumb, well, that's it. This is, I'm a real human. This is how I talk, and there we are. I don't edit stuff out. It just is what it is. And because I always wanted this to just be raw and authentic. That's what I want. In a world where there's too much overproduced crap and inauthentic people are not intellectually honest, I want to be the opposite of that. That's it. And it doesn't mean that I'm unwilling to increase production value or quality rather in the future. It doesn't mean I won't do that. It doesn't mean I won't get in front of the camera at some point. I don't necessarily have problems with that. I just haven't felt the need to at this point. So I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm really just saying it's not necessary. Like this works in the format that it is. And so many people aren't even looking at the screen anyway. You're out, you're doing chores, or you're at the gym, or you're walking your dog, or just a walk in general, or who knows what you're doing. But I do that with all sorts of YouTube videos myself on crypto topics and other topics. I always listen to podcasts. So it's all that to say, it's not that particularly crucial. So I don't know. I just thought I'd spill some more thoughts out here than I normally do, because again, it's normally not about YouTube and like what I think about this stuff. So this is a rare exception for me. But I thought on a day like this, like I said, and sorry if it went too long. Well, actually, I don't need to apologize. You're still here at the end. So thank you. You're one of the few that made it to the end, right? So I appreciate it. Yeah, it's nice to be able to talk every now and then, even though I don't normally want to. I normally just want to keep it 100% on point, but about what's happening in crypto and XRP specifically. But I do appreciate the opportunity to just share some candor with you. I really do. And you guys just let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I really, again, I'll say one last time and I'll shut up. I really do appreciate all the support. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.